Greetings, I'm Arlene Blum, the Executive Director of the Green Science Policy Institute and a biophysical chemist at the University of California at Berkeley. I'm so very honored to be speaking to you today about the interrelated problems of plastic pollution and toxic chemicals. More importantly, we will discuss what we can do together to address these two intertwined threats to our health and indeed the health of every creature on our planet. As you probably know, tens of thousands of chemicals are on the market today. Some are harmful, and many are used in plastics. The production of both plastics and toxic chemicals are increasing worldwide. Also, there's a little transparency about what chemicals are used in products and in plastic. Even manufacturers may not know if the chemicals in their products are safe for our health. I'm going to begin today with the story of a chemical flame retardant called tris. As a young chemist in the 1970s, I studied brominated tris, a flame retardant that was used on nearly all the children's pajamas in the United States at that time. My research showed that the chemical could move from the pajamas into a child wearing the pajamas, and that brominated tris was likely to cause cancer. My research results were published in Science magazine and picked up by the press. Unbelievably, in 3 months, brominated tris was banned from use in all children's pajamas in the United States. But what was the replacement? Chlorinated tris, a chemical cousin which was also found to be similarly harmful. After more research and more media, chlorinated tris was also phased out from children's pajamas. I realized then for the first time that little is known about the many thousands of chemicals in our everyday products and in plastics. One reason is that evaluating just one substance can take many years. Studying the tens of thousands of chemicals on the market today, one at a time, is just not feasible. But evaluating just 6 groups of chemicals of concern is much more manageable. That's why we developed the 6 classes approach. The 6 classes are highly fluorinated chemicals, also known as PFAS, antimicrobials, flame retardants, bisphenols and phthalates, some solvents, and certain metals. The 6 classes approach limits the use of entire groups of chemicals of concern. It avoids the replacement of a harmful chemical with something similar, because similar chemicals can cause similar health problems. Chemicals in the 6 classes can change DNA, cause cancer, and disrupt neurological, reproductive, and hormonal functions. Pregnant women and children are especially vulnerable. This class approach is a roadmap for phasing out whole families of chemicals of concern, including those found in plastics. So we suggest when making a purchasing decision, we can ask, does this product contain any of the 6 classes? And if it does, then we can ask, is this chemical really necessary? Is it worth the potential for harm? You can learn more about reducing harm from the 6 classes by watching our 4-minute-long videos. Please see 6classes.org to learn why these 6 classes of chemicals are harmful and how you can reduce your own exposure and that of your family. All of the 6 classes can be found in plastics. They might be intentionally added as additives, unintentional contaminants from during production, or absorbed onto plastics in the environment. For example, chemicals from the 6 classes are known to accumulate on marine plastics. Some intentional uses of the 6 classes of harmful chemicals in plastics are highly fluorinated chemicals are found in some plastic food packaging, home furnishings, outdoor gear, nonstick cookware, and children's car seats. Antimicrobials are added to thousands of products, including containers, exercise mats, flooring, plastic food storage containers and utensils, keyboards, and kitchenware. Toxic flame retardants are in television cases and other plastic electronics enclosures, foam plastic building insulation, and furniture foam. Bisphenols are used in canned food liners, plastic containers, teething toys, to name a few. Phthalates can be found in personal care products, containers, toys, flexible PVC pipes, vinyl flooring, and more. There's another connection, an important one, between plastic and toxic chemicals, and that is the petrochemical industry. Most people are aware that climate change is driven by the extraction and burning of fossil fuels, but fossil fuels are also the raw materials for most plastics in use today, as well as the harmful chemicals found in everyday products. In fact, the greatest margin of profit for the petrochemical industry comes not from the sale of petrol, as one might imagine. Instead, the most profitable areas are production of plastics and of toxic chemicals. These petrochemicals are the very same substances that are contributing to decreased fertility and increasing rates of cancer, obesity, and neurological problems in our children. In short, cheap fuel brings cheap plastics that are made useful with the addition of highly profitable and toxic chemicals. Now that solar and alternative energy sources are affordable enough to compete with fossil fuels, the petrochemical industry is looking to increasing their production of plastics and toxic chemicals to maintain their continued growth. Plastic production, which currently accounts for about 4 to 8% of global consumption of oil today, is predicted to rise to an amazing 20% by 2050. ExxonMobil, World Dutch Shell, Dow, and others are planning more than a dozen new plastic production plants worldwide. And do we need this plastic? For the future of our children and our environment, we must understand and avoid the use of the 6 classes of chemicals of concern. Demanding green and healthy chemicals will speed the transition from petroleum, plastics, and poisonous chemicals to a new model based on alternative energy, green chemistry, and healthy materials. And I'm very optimistic that working together, we can learn, we can change, and we can have a healthier world without petrol, plastics, and poisons. I wish I could be there with you today to hear the other talks and meet you in person, but please, if you have ideas to share or questions, do contact me through our websites, greensciencepolicy.org and 6classes.org. I'll write you back for sure. Thank you so much for your attention.